The air in the living room felt heavy, saturated with Lena's lavender perfume, laced with something sour underneath, like regret left too long in the open. I froze in the doorway, keys still dangling from my fingers, the front door half open behind me. On the coffee table lay an ultrasound photo, its blurry black and white image, shouting a truth I wasn't prepared to face. Lena sat stiffly on the couch, her hands clasped so tightly her knuckles blanched white, her gaze refusing to meet mine. Beside her was Ethan, my best friend since high school, his jaw tight, his usual easy smile gone, replaced by a grim line. Silence pressed down on us, but it wasn't empty. It was deafening, a silence that told the story before a single word was spoken. I hadn't planned to be home this early. Work had been crushing me lately. The software project I'd been killing myself over collapsing in on itself. I just wanted to bury my face in Lena's arms. Let her warmth quiet the noise in my head. Instead, I walked straight into this, a moment etched into my bones forever. My throat closed as the keys slipped from my hand, clattering to the hardwood like a gunshot. What is this? I managed, my voice low, trembling between dread and disbelief. Lena's lips parted, but no words came. Ethan shifted uncomfortably, his eyes darting to the photo, then to me, then away. Looking back, the signs had been unraveling for weeks, though I refused to see them. Lena had grown distant, her laugh rarer, her touch fleeting. I chalked it up to her new job at the gallery. Long hours, late nights, the faint smell of paint and wine clinging to her hair. Ethan had been slipping too. Our weekly beers at O'Malley's had dwindled into excuses. Work, family, life. When we did meet, he'd avoid my eyes, his jokes falling flat, his hands restless around his glass. But I trusted them. God, I trusted them both. How do you question the woman who's whispered, "I love you" in the dark for 7 years? Or the friend who carried you home at 18 when you shattered your ankle? Mark. Lena finally spoke, her voice a fragile thread. We need to talk. Her green eyes, usually so alive, were clouded, guilt, fear, something I couldn't name. She reached for the ultrasound picture, clutching it like a shield. I didn't mean for this to happen. My heart lurched. I wanted to scream, demand answers, but I felt rooted to the floor, sinking. Didn't mean for what had happened. I asked, though deep down I already knew. The air felt charged, the way it does just before a storm. Ethan stood, shoulders hunched, his hands trembling as he raked them through his hair. "It's mine," he said flatly, like a knife sliding between my ribs. "The baby, it's mine." The world tilted. My vision tunneled, blurring at the edges as his words ricocheted in my skull. Lena's sobs broke through, sharp and raw, but I couldn't look at her. Not yet. My best friend, my brother in all but blood, had betrayed me in the most unforgivable way. And Lena, my Lena, had let it happen. That ultrasound photo burned itself into me. A tiny shape on a screen, proof of a life that wasn't mine. I stumbled backward, hips slamming into the console table, knocking over our wedding photo. The glass splintered across our smiling faces. How long? I croaked, my voice ragged, like I'd been screaming for hours. How long have you two been? I couldn't finish. The word was too ugly, too final. It wasn't planned, Lena said, her voice cracking. She stood, hands reaching for me, but I recoiled and she froze. It was one night, Mark. One stupid, drunken night after the gallery opening. I was upset, and Ethan was there, and... Stop. I snapped, fists clenched at my sides. The room closing on me. I could hear the rain outside tapping against the window, a quiet rhythm mocking the chaos in my chest. You don't get to excuse this, I said, my voice shaking. I turned on Ethan, grief and rage tangling in my throat. You were my best man. You toasted our marriage. And now this. Ethan's face crumpled, his eyes glistening. I'm sorry, Mark. I swear I never meant to hurt you. It just happened. His voice was small, stripped of the easy confidence I'd known for years. But the apology rang hollow, like he'd rehearsed it in the mirror. I wanted to hit him, feel his jaw shatter under my fist, but my arms hung heavy, useless at my sides. The days that followed blurred together, a fog of pain and pretense. Lena moved into the guest room, her absence ghosting every corner of our home. Her toothbrush gone from the sink, her favorite mug untouched in the cupboard. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. My mind replayed everything, combing through past for signs I'd ignored. The late nights, the secret calls, Ethan's off-kilter laugh. At night, I'd stare at the ceiling, torn between love and hate. I still loved her. God help me, I did. But every time I looked at her, I saw Ethan's hands on her, saw the child inside her that wasn't mine. I tried to confront them separately. Lena sobbed, spilling apologies and explanations. I was lonely, Mark, she whispered into her pillow. You were always working. I felt invisible. Ethan, he listened. Her words sliced me open. They forced me to face my own neglect. The deadlines I'd chosen over dinners, the late nights over her. Did I push her into this? Was I partly to blame? Ethan was harder to corner. He avoided me, his text curt, evasive. When I finally showed up at his apartment, the place smelled of burnt coffee, and he looked frayed, like a man unraveling. I love her, he admitted, voice barely audible. I didn't mean to, but I do. His honesty hit like a fresh wound. Worse than his words was the fear in his eyes. He wasn't just guilty, he was terrified. The final truth came when I borrowed Lena's phone, mine dead on the counter, to call my mother. A notification lit up, a message from Ethan. We need to tell him everything. It's not just the baby. My stomach dropped. I scrolled, hands trembling, through months of messages, reckless, intimate, plotting a future that erased me completely. It hadn't been a single mistake. It was a pattern, a choice, over and over again. I confronted them together. The ultrasound photo crumpled in my hand. The living room became a courtroom, the air thick with accusation. You lied. I said, my voice icy, steady now. Both of you. This wasn't one night. This was everything. Neither spoke. Lena's face drained a color. Ethan's shoulders sagged. Their silence was confession enough. What happened next wasn't planned. I wanted clarity, something to ground me in the wreckage. But Lena's tears shifted to panic, and Ethan's guilt hardened into defiance. We're leaving, he said, voice like steel. We're starting over somewhere else. Lena nodded, eyes fixed on the floor. They had already chosen. And it wasn't me. 2 weeks later, tragedy struck. I'd moved out, crashing on a coworker's couch, my life reduced to a duffel bag. The call came at 3 a.m., the hospital's number flashing on my screen. Lena and Ethan had been driving north, the car stuffed with luggage, when a semi veered into their lane. The crash was immediate, fatal. No survivors. The baby gone too. I sat in the hospital waiting room, the antiseptic sting in the air burning my nose, my mind replaying every moment. Lena's laugh, Ethan's grin, the ultrasound of a child I'd never meet. Grief and fury twisted together, inseparable. They'd betrayed me, but they'd also paid a price too brutal to imagine. Now all that's left is absence. The ultrasound photo sits on my desk, not just a reminder of them, but of the man I was, the one who trusted without question. I don't know if forgiveness is possible. Some wounds cut too deep, leaving scars that whisper in the quiet moments. What if I had seen the signs? What if I had fought harder? But those answers, like Lena and Ethan, are gone forever.